fans, stand by. Here comes Dick Tracy now.
This electrically transcribed series of thrilling Dick Tracy detective adventures is brought to you by Quaker Puffed Wheat and Quaker Puffed Rice, those specially delicious, nourishing cereals that give you trigger-fast food energy because they're shot from guns. Remember the sound of those big Quaker guns the next time you sit down to a tempting dish of crisp, crunchy puffed wheat or puffed rice for breakfast. And remember the special Quaker process and moisture-proof package that makes Quaker Puffed Wheat and Quaker Puffed Rice so firm and plump, so much more delightful than ordinary cereals. Puffed wheat and puffed rice are especially easy to digest, too. Each grain of sun-ripened wheat or rice is actually exploded to 8 times its normal size as it's shot from the guns. Each tiny, hard-to-digest food cell is unlocked, but all its quick food energy, all its goodness is retained and released to you much more quickly and easily. So join the thousands of happy, healthy puffed wheat and puffed rice fans tomorrow morning. Enjoy the tasty, nut-like flavors of those 2 swell cereals. Eat puffed wheat one morning and then puffed rice the next. Ask Mother to get a package of each from the grocer displaying the Dick Tracy Secret Service Patrol headquarters sign right away. The notorious outlaw of the great Northwest, Vernon Kyle, has terrorized the inhabitants of the town of Pitchblende in the Yukon into sharing their mines with him. Kyle planned to force the miners to ship their pitchblende ore, containing radium, to Peel River by way of his airplane instead of dog sled, obliging them to pay very highly for the privilege. Dick Tracy's arrival inspired the downtrodden miners to refuse. Naturally, Kyle's next move is to do away with Dick Tracy. In our last episode, Dick was sitting in the cabin of Captain McKean of the Northwest Mounted Police when he noticed a sinister figure lurking at the window. Dick immediately started talking to Junior in code. What was Dick saying?
Hey, why all this talk about football? If you fellas have run out of things to talk about, well, we can deal some three-handed bridge.
Well, Captain, Junior and I are just brushing up on... Now, Junior, now! Dick, you fired that shot.
And without turning around.
Quick, outside.
Tracy, did you expect to hit anything firing over your shoulder
We'll
like
talk
that?
later, McKean. Come on.
Oh, my shoulder. My shoulder.
Lucky for you, it only was your shoulder. The next time you try to shoot someone through a window, my friend, don't make the mistake of letting your target see you first.
Tracy, I don't get all this. Who is this man?
McKean, our wounded friend here was sent by Vernon Kyle with instructions to kill me, which he tried to do by shooting at me through the window. Fortunately, I caught a glimpse of him in the mirror over the mantelpiece.
Yeah, and it's a good thing I ducked when I did, too. I'll say it was. Dick, that was some shooting.
Well, it was a long chance, Pat. Fortunately, it worked. Well, my friend, what have you got to say for yourself?
I wasn't going to shoot you. I swear I wasn't.
Oh, no, of course not. You were carrying this rifle and pointing it at me through the window in a spirit of good, clean fun.
Well, what are you going to do with this fella, Dick?
I think we better lock him up. McKean, after you see that he gets first aid. Not that he's badly hurt. I wouldn't be surprised if he were one of the men who ganged up on old man Weir. Trying to kill someone by shooting from behind, as he tried to do me, or ganging up on a defenseless old man like Weir. They're the sort of dirty work that go together.
Well, there's no thanks to these rats that old man Weir's going to be all right. By the way, Tracy, Weir said he wanted to see you. Wants to have a talk with you.
Good. I'll go along to the doctor's with you then. Come along, Pat.
Over here.
Well, Weir, I'm glad to see you're feeling so much better.
Hey, thank you, Mr. Tracy. The doctor's taken excellent care of me. I thought I was a goner after the way Torp and his mob beat me up. Well, I think I can go back to my shack tonight. Tell me, I understand you got Torp. Did you get the others who helped him beat me up?
Yes, we arrested Torp, all right, but our friend Kyle was afraid Torp might be indiscreet enough to talk. So he took the precaution of silencing him forever.
You mean Kyle actually...
I mean that while Torp was in jail, Kyle had him put out of the way.
Do you realize what Kyle's doing in this town? Do you realize that he's about ruined us miners? Well, first he forced us to turn over 50% of our claims to him. 50% for doing nothing. Absolutely nothing. And now I hear he's going to try and force us to ship the stuff by airplane, his airplane, and charge us another 40%.
Well, I'm afraid Kyle isn't going to find that so easy. I spoke to the miners this afternoon. they're not going to use Kyle's airplane. For once, they're going to fight back. And we're going to help. Tomorrow, they're going to take the first shipment to Peel River by dog sled, in the old way. They're going to have a mounted escort in case Kyle attempts to hijack or attack them.
Oh, that's splendid, sir. That's the first piece of good news I've heard in months. But if they're leaving tomorrow, I'd better get back to my claim and get my pitchblende ready for shipment. My stuff might as well go along with it.
Yes, you're right. You're right, Weir. Before you go, let me give you one word of advice. I know how you feel about Kyle. I know how you all feel. But don't try to take the law into your own hands. Kyle is going to discover that no man can, merely by brute force and wanton killing, ruin the lives and destinies of other human beings. He's going to find out that neither the human beings up here nor the precious radium they dig out of the earth belong to him. Remember that, Weir. Remember that.
Yes, Mr. Tracy. I'll remember it.
Well, Tracy, the dog sleds are about ready to start for Peel River. Still feel you want to send Patton along with them?
Yes, I do. We've agreed, haven't we, McKean, that Vernon and Kyle will make some sort of attempt at stopping these dog sleds before they get to Peel River?
Well, there's hardly any doubt of that. But I'm sending along a mounted escort, headed by Remington.
Yes, I know. But you don't object to Patton going along, too, do you?
No, certainly not.
You see, he'll be my personal representative on the trip, since I made certain promises to the miners.
I understand perfectly, Tracy. You don't have to explain.
Well, Dick, looks as if we're about ready to start.
Yes, Pat. Another few moments at the most.
Gee, Dick, can't I go along, too? Boy, I'd give anything to ride all the way to Peel River in one of those dog sleds.
I know you would, Junior. But I'm afraid this trip isn't going to be a pleasure jaunt. There may be trouble. I'd rather you stayed here with me.
Well, all right, Dick. Anything you say.
Tracy, look. There's Vernon Kyle. He's coming over toward us now.
Yeah, I see him. It's going to be an interesting interview. Very interesting indeed.
Well, if he starts anything, I'm going to let him have it right from the ground.
Oh, easy, Pat. Let me handle it.
Well, if it isn't the famous Mr. Tracy, huh? What are you doing, giving the miners your blessing before you send them out into the great beyond?
Kyle, to put it bluntly, and that's the only way I'll put it to you, you're not welcome here.
Oh, I'm not welcome, Tracy. I'm welcome everywhere. I run this town, and every place I go, I'm welcome.
I think you've just about worn your welcome thin, Kyle.
Is that so? Well, let me tell you something, Tracy.
Hold on. You can say your piece without poking me in the chest with that riding whip of yours.
Now get this, Tracy. Whether you like it or not, I run this town and the people in it.
In the first place, I don't like it. In the second place, you're not running this town any longer.
Now, listen, those miners may think they're saving money by shipping their stuff through to Peel River by dog sled, but they're not. They're going to find it's a lot more expensive.
Your anxiety to save money for them is very touching.
I don't like your tone, Tracy. In fact, there's a lot I don't like about you. That goes for you, too, Patton.
Don't tap my arm with that riding whip again, Kyle.
Oh, you mean like this? Why not, Patton?
Oh, that's why, Kyle. Pat. Oh, I'm sorry, Dick. I know you asked me not to, but I just had to get one poke at that guy. I've got to admit it was a pleasure.
So it was a pleasure, was it, Patton?
Yeah.
And you'll be sorry for this.
On your way, you drugstore cowboy.
I think your business with us is over, don't you, Kyle?
Well, we'll be meeting again. That goes for you, too, Patton. I'm going. But before I go, you better take a tip from me. Get those miners to change their minds. Tell them to ship their stuff out by plane. My plane, Tracy. Because if they don't...
Yeah, if they don't?
I'll be seeing you around, Tracy. I'll be seeing you around.
I should have hit him again just to make sure.
Take it easy, Pat. Sorry you hit him the first time.
But after what he...
Shouldn't have lost your head, Pat. Nothing was gained by that.
It relieved my feelings.
Well, as a policeman, you're supposed to keep your feelings under control. Remember that.
Well, okay, Dick. I'm sorry.
Mr. Tracy and the dog teams are all ready to start.
All right. Now listen to me, you men. You're going to take these sleds through the Peel River. Don't let anything stop you. You know as well as I do that there'll be an attempt to stop you. But you've got to prove to yourselves that you can do it. That you have the right to transport your pitchblende any way you want to. And that means without the help of Vernon Kyle and his airplane. Get going now, and good luck to you.
Come along, Dick. I'll see you in 2 days.
Take care of yourself, Pat. Keep an eye on those dog sleds for me.
Don't worry. We'll be all right. So long, Junior. So long, McKean.
terrible night, Tracy. Bitter cold, and there's a high wind blowing.
Think it'll snow?
No, the moon's out. Big frosty moon at that. You can see it right over the brow of that hill over there. No, I was just thinking of those dog sleds and those men out there in this biting wind.
Yes, I know. Well, they'll be all right, I'm sure.
Well, Tracy, I must admit that since you've come up here, things have changed. Vernon Kyle isn't quite the braggart he used to be.
I'm afraid I haven't done much more than hold him in check up till now.
Hey, Dick, did you hear that? What was it?
It was a human cry, Junior. Sounds as if there's a horse coming, too.
He's coming from the cabin, whoever he is. He's gone past. Gosh, look, Dick. It's a hooded figure galloping across the moon.
I heard something hit the door. Let's see.
It's a knife, Tracy, a knife stuck in the door.
Yep. There's a note attached to it. What's this mean, I wonder?
We'll read it and see.
It says, "You cannot win alone against the snake that calls itself Vernon Kyle. I will help you." Signed, the Purple Rider.
The Purple Rider? Gee, I wonder who he is. The Purple Rider?
Who is the Purple Rider? And what further adventures await Dick Tracy in the wilderness of the great Northwest? Will Pat and the dog sled get through safely to Peel River? It's hard to tell. But now let's stand by for our Dick Tracy Secret Service Patrol meeting, brought to you by Quaker Puffed Wheat and Quaker Puffed Rice, those two specially delicious, nourishing cereals that are shot from guns to give you trigger-fast food energy. And here comes Dick Tracy, Jr., our patrol president now.
The meeting will now come to order.
Say, Junior, wasn't it great the way Dick got that code message to you today?
It sure was. Everybody thought we were talking about football.
You never know when that secret code's going to come in handy.
Right, Mr. Quaker Man. And you know, another swell thing about being a patrol member is that you know the secret handshake.
Didn't Dick Tracy use that secret handshake to let you know who he was when he was disguised as the Apache, Junior?
Yes, and boy, was I surprised.
You know, a lot of patrol members use the secret handshake all the time to recognize each other and to find out whether other fellows and girls belong to the patrol without saying a word.
And that's the right way to use it, too.
Listen, boys and girls, if you're a member of the Dick Tracy Secret Service Patrol or the National Girls Division, use the secret handshake the way you should. Read your code book. It's full of swell things to do. And if you haven't joined the patrol or the National Girls Division yet, join now so you can get in on all the fun we have together.
That's right. Dick Tracy wants you to be in the patrol.
It's easy to join. You just tear the tops off 2 packages of Quaker Puffed Wheat or Quaker Puffed Rice, and then print your name and address on a plain piece of paper. If you're a boy, write boy at the top of the paper, and if you're a girl, write Girls Division. Put it in an envelope with your 2 box tops and mail it to Dick Tracy, Box L, Chicago.
Then you're a pal of Dick Tracy's, too. And we have a great time together.
And Quaker Puffed Wheat and Quaker Puffed Rice breakfast taste just wonderful. These 2 delicious cereals are shot from guns to give you trigger-fast food energy. So look in the pantry today, and if you don't find any of those famous red and blue packages, ask Mother to get you some of each at the grocer's right away.
Calling all adventure fans, calling all Dick Tracy fans. Stand by for another exciting electrically transcribed Dick Tracy adventure tomorrow at this same time. There goes Dick Tracy now. That is all. Adventure fans, calling all Dick Tracy fans. Stand by. Here comes Dick Tracy now.
Quaker Puffed Wheat And Quaker Puffed Rice, those specially delicious, refreshing cereals that are shot from guns to give you lots of trigger-fast food energy, now bring you another electrically transcribed episode in this new series of thrilling Dick Tracy adventures. Listen to that big gun. That's the sound you hear all day long at the Quaker plants, where Quaker Puffed Wheat and Quaker Puffed Rice are made. It's actually shot from guns, you know. Now, that may seem a strange way to make cereals as delicious and refreshing as puffed wheat and puffed rice are, but there's a reason. When nourishing grains of wheat and rice are shot from these special Quaker guns, they're exploded to 8 times their normal size, and that gives puffed wheat and puffed rice those tempting, different flavors that thousands of boys and girls and grown-ups enjoy so much. It makes them specially easy to digest, too, so that you get their trigger-fast food energy quickly and easily. And remember, you need lots of that same kind of quick energy every day to be as alert and physically fit as Dick Tracy is. And here's another thing. The best way you can show Dick Tracy you're enjoying his swell adventures is to ask Mother to give you puffed wheat for breakfast one day and then puffed rice the next. That way you let Dick know you're with him and for him. And you have a delightful breakfast change the whole family enjoys. So ask Mother now to get you Quaker Puffed Wheat and Quaker Puffed Rice from the grocer who displays the Dick Tracy Secret Service Patrol headquarters sign right away. The inhabitants of Pitchblende, a mining town in the Canadian Northwest, live in terror of Vernon Kyle and his lawless gang. Already robbed of half their mines, the townspeople find courage in Dick Tracy's arrival to refuse Kyle's latest demand that their Pitchblende ore, which contains radium, be transported by his plane at an exorbitant charge rather than by dog sled. Despite Kyle's threats, the dog teams, guarded by Pat Patton and some mounted police, are en route to Peel River. Meanwhile, at Mountie headquarters, Tracy, Captain McKean, and Junior hear a weird cry in the night as a mysterious horseman gallops on by the wind, leaving this note at their door.
You cannot win alone against the snake that calls itself Vernon Kyle. I will help you. And it's signed the Purple Rider.
Purple Rider? Gee, I wonder who he is.
Yeah, I can still see him. The hooded rider galloping across the moon. There he's gone now over the brow of that hill. Well, Tracy, what does this mean? What do you make of it?
Well, offhand, McKean, I'd say that the miners hereabout are not the only ones who have a grievance against Vernon Kyle. Seems to be someone else. Someone, I might add, with an obvious leaning toward theatrical effect.
Well, what do you think this Purple Rider plans to do?
Oh, as to that, McKean, your guess is as good as mine. We can only wait and see.
A Purple Rider? Gosh, it sort of makes me feel, I don't know, sort of creepy, Dick.
Well, Junior, I should say that's the effect it's intended to produce, especially in our friend Vernon Kyle. Might be that the Purple Rider hopes to scare Kyle into leaving town, but of course that's just a guess.
Nevertheless, whatever the reasons of the Purple Rider happen to be, he's definitely acting outside the law, and it'll be our job to capture him now as well as Vernon Kyle.
Yes, Captain. You're quite right about that. Quite right.
Hey, Kyle, that jaw of yours is swelling up like a balloon. You sure you don't want some ice or something to put on it?
When I want anything, I'll ask for it. Oh. I think that fool Patton broke a tooth when he hit me this afternoon. I'll get him for that, I swear I will.
Yeah, well, how about those dog sleds and the fellows are driving them? They're the ones we ought to get right now.
Don't you think I knew it?
Yeah, but what are you going to do about it?
I'm going to kill 2 birds with 1 stone.
What do you mean?
It's simple. I said I'd get Patton, and I said I'd stop those dog sleds. Well, the boys are on their way to Dead Man's Pass right now. They'll get there before the dog sleds do. And it's going to be just too bad for Patton and the rest of them.
You're going to shoot him up a little, eh?
Don't be a fool. Think I want to find myself at the end of a rope? Oh, no. Tracy knows I'm out to get those dog sleds, and he heard me say I'd get Patton. Well, I'm going to do both those things, all right. But I'm going to do it so that Tracy won't be able to pin anything on me.
Yeah, but how are you going to do it?
Boys have got their orders.
Well, aren't you going to let me in on it?
You talk too much.
Oh, now listen, Red. I can keep my mouth shut. Let me in on it, will you? I don't like this guy Patton or Tracy for that matter any more than you do.
Not a chance. What time is it?
8 o'clock. Why?
Baldy was supposed to be here by 7:30, and he ain't showed up yet. Have a look outside. Maybe he's at the bar.
Okay. Jumping coyotes, look at this.
What is it?
Why, well, I'll be hanged if it isn't a knife stuck in the door with a note attached to it.
A knife with a note? Let me see it quick.
Here you are.
You will never see Baldy again. He is the first. Signed the Purple Rider. What the?
Jumping Jenny Wren. Hey, what does it mean?
You can see what's written here, can't you? Says we'll never see Baldy again. He's the first. What does that mean, the first?
Must mean that somebody else will be the second, Kyle. Hey, I don't like this. Say, who is this Purple Rider? You ever hear of him before?
No, but I wouldn't be surprised to hear that Tracy's behind this. Yeah, the more I think of it, the more I'm sure. He's trying to frighten us out of town. Well, he won't get away with it, I tell you. He won't get away with it.
Rush! Get along there!
Oh, boy, this wind sure is sharp and cold. It goes right through these furs.
Sure does. We're used to cold nights up here, but we don't get many like this, I can tell you.
You boys going to make camp for the night?
Later on, Patton, after we get through Dead Man's Pass. That's the halfway mark, you know.
Yeah. Hey, you know, it's funny. I always had the impression that you men rode in your dog sleds. All you've done since we left Pitchblende is to run behind them and steer them.
That's right, Patton. Of course, sometimes we hop on the runners in back for a little rest. But most of the time, we run along with the dogs.
Yeah, I noticed the dogs keep up a mighty steady pace.
Yes, Patton, that's right. They last longer that way. Conserve their strength.
I see. Say, what's that howling I hear?
Them's wolves off in the hills, howling at that big white moon up there.
Yeah, it's sort of weird sound, isn't it?
Hey, get used to it. Now, there's Dead Man's Pass up there.
Yeah, I see. Just an hour pass running between those cliffs, huh?
Yep. Once through there, we can pitch camp for the night and sit down to a good mess of pork and beans. Hey, you men. Dead Man's Pass straight ahead. Get a move on. Right behind you.
Well, we're coming into Dead Man's Pass now. Say, look at those cliffs of snow and ice towering about us on both sides there. That's steep on the other.
Yep.
Gosh, they're beautiful. Especially with the moon shining on them.
Yeah, another 5 minutes and we'll be through. And then for that pork and beans.
Oh, I could do with a mess of pork. Hey, what's that?
The snow. It's coming down.
Yeah,
It's a snowslide. A snowslide. Run for your lives. Run, you fools. Run!
Well, Tracy, I think it's about time for me to be hitting the hay. How about you?
Well, not for a while yet, McKean. I want to finish this chapter on radium before I turn in.
Well, if you're going to stay up, maybe I'll stay up a little while and finish another pipe.
Well, now, please don't feel you have to play host.
We get so few visitors up here in the wilderness, I'm glad to have a chance to chat about things.
I know just how you feel. Say, are those wolves howling?
Yes, baying at the moon, I guess. Not a sound you city folks have often. Up here in the loneliness, we're used to it.
I suppose so. It certainly has a lonely quality, hasn't it? You can imagine what it's like out there in those frozen wastes. You know, this country makes a man feel like...
What can that be at this time of the night?
There's only one way to find out.
Right. All right, I'm coming.
Jack! In the name of heaven, hurry, man.
What's happened to you?
Dead Man's Pass. The dog sled. Snowslide.
What?
Avalanche. Hurry or it'll be too late.
Did you say a snowslide?
Yeah. Every sled buried beneath the snow except mine. I was in the rear. I was just about to enter the pass when it happened. For heaven's sake, hurry.
Tracy, what'll we do?
Round up as many men and dog teams as we've got. We've got to save those men.
Yes, but can we? Buried beneath the snow.
Don't talk, man. Act. Round up your men. Get every dog sled available. As many shovels as you can find. We've got to save those men, and we've got to start at once if we're to do it.
Well, heaven help us to be in time. Mush, you dogs. Come along now.
Those dogs to their limit. Don't let up. The lives of the men may depend on those animals.
It's strange, Tracy. Very strange.
Oh, what is, McKean?
There's never been a snowslide at Dead Man's Pass. They can't figure out what could have caused one at this time. And one just as those men were passing through, too.
Well, the fact that there's never been one before, and this one happened just as the men were passing through, those aren't meaningless, unrelated facts.
What do you mean?
I mean, McKean, that pass was exploded. I know it sounds like a wild guess, but I have a strong hunch. Dynamite was used to move that snow at precisely the right moment to trap those dog sleds.
You think Vernon Kyle did it, eh?
Yes, sir. I'm quite certain that Vernon Kyle is mixed up in this. I'm not as certain that we'll be able to prove it. He didn't want that dog sled party to get through. He also wanted to get back at Patton. He's chosen the one method by which he could accomplish his plans and cover his tracks at the same time.
Well, if he's responsible, we'll find some way of getting him.
I hope so. Keep them moving, McKean.
Get along there. And Tracy, we've got to save those men. I feel a sense of personal responsibility, and I'm sure you do. For they've got families, many of them, and if they should die...
Don't think about it. Keep moving. Hurry, you men. Keep up with us here.
Coyotes, we're doing the best we can.
Hey, Tracy, look. There's Deadman's Pass ahead.
Yes. Look at that mound of snow. We're going to have our hands full digging them out of there.
Well, we've got to save them. We've got to.
And we will, McKean, if it's humanly possible.
All right, men. Pull up. We're here now. All right, pull the sleds over to the side. And get those shovels and get busy.
Even if they're buried under all that snow, they haven't got a chance. Yeah, that's what I say.
What are you men talking about? There's one chance in a million to save those men. We've got to take it. We've got to dig until we collapse. Now get in there and start. Every second counts.
Okay, Mr. Tracy. Get there, boys.
Come on. Come on now. Hey, get the boys. Here's one of them. Help me pull him out.
Say, he's frozen.
Come on.
Who is it, Tracy?
Pat. Pat, speak to me, old man. Speak to me.
He's finished, if you ask me.
Don't stand around, you men. Keep on digging. There are others in there. Get them out. Keep digging, do you hear? Keep digging.
Come on, boys. Keep at it. Come on. Keep going.
Pat, old boy.
Tracy, is he...
I don't know, McKean. I don't know.
Come on.
Is Pat Patton alive or dead? And what will happen next in this drama of the forces of law against the forces of evil? We'll soon know. But now it's time for our Dick Tracy Secret Service Patrol meeting, and all you boys and girls are invited to attend by Quaker Puffed Wheat and Quaker Puffed Rice, those two specially delicious, refreshing cereals that are shot from guns to give you trigger-fast food energy. All right, Junior, we're ready.
The meeting will now come to order. And today, Miss Tress Trueheart has a special message for you.
Yes, Miss Trueheart wants to congratulate all the girls on the way they're getting their friends to join the National Girls Division of the Dick Tracy Secret Service Patrol.
And Dick Tracy sends congratulations to the fellas, too. You're doing a swell job.
Dick and Tess want me to remind you all to be sure to sign your patrol pledge in the presence of your mother when you get it. That's very important.
You know, the patrol pledge really does mean a lot. That pledge has been a lasting bond between Dick Tracy, Pat, and me through all our adventures together.
Just like the Three Musketeers, eh, Junior?
Yes, sir. All for one and one for all. And Dick would like to know that every real red-blooded boy and girl in the country has signed that same pledge that means so much to us.
Hear that, fellows and girls? If you've signed your pledge, you know how much that means. But if you haven't joined the patrol yet, send for your membership now. Get your secret code book, your patrol pledge, an official badge, free. Now, here's all you do. Just send 2 Quaker Puffed Wheat or Quaker Puffed Rice box tops with your name and address printed on a plain piece of paper to Dick Tracy, Box L, Chicago. And on this piece of paper where you print your name and address, also print Girls Division if you're a girl, or if you're a boy, just print the word boy. Remember, Quaker Puffed Wheat and Quaker Puffed Rice are the 2 specially delicious cereals that give you trigger-fast food energy because they're shot from guns. So ask Mother now to get you some of each from the grocer's right away.
Calling all adventure fans, calling all Dick Tracy fans. Stand by for another exciting electrically transcribed Dick Tracy adventure tomorrow at this same time. There goes Dick Tracy now. That is all. Calling all adventure fans, calling all Dick Tracy fans. Stand by. Here comes Dick Tracy now.
Yes, it's time for Dick Tracy in another electrically transcribed episode of his thrilling detective adventures, brought to you by Quaker Puffed Wheat and Quaker Puffed Rice, the specially delicious, nourishing cereals that are shot from guns to give you trigger-fast food energy. Well, spring's on the way. Days getting longer. There's lots more time now for patrol activities and fun outdoors. And that means that you need lots of trigger-fast food energy to keep wide awake and fast on your feet, the way Dick Tracy wants you to be. Big guns. Hear them? Dozens of times every day, those special Quaker guns are actually loaded with sun-ripened grains of nourishing wheat and rice. Then these hard-to-digest little kernels of grain are exploded to 8 times their normal size. And that not only makes them look different and taste better than ordinary cereals, that special Quaker process makes puffed wheat and puffed rice specially easy to digest, so that you get trigger-fast food energy more quickly and easily. So have puffed wheat one morning, and then puffed rice the next, for a delightful variety. Look in the pantry now to see if you have any of those famous red and blue packages. And if not, ask Mother today to get you some Quaker puffed wheat and Quaker puffed rice from the grocery that displays the Dick Tracy Secret Service Patrol headquarters sign. Dick Tracy has been trying to bring to justice the notorious outlaw of the great Northwest, Vernon Kyle. In our last episode, we heard how the mysterious Purple Rider had kidnapped one of Kyle's men. But Kyle and his men made good their threat to stop the dog sleds carrying loads of pitchblende from getting through to Peel River by causing a snowslide, just as the dog teams were passing through Dead Man's Pass. The mounted police were frantically trying to dig the men out. Pat Patton was the first to be discovered, and from his condition, it would seem that the rescuers may have arrived too late.
Tracy, is Patton, is he?
I don't know, McKean, I don't know. Keep your men at it, keep them digging. They've got to find those miners and save them if they can. Dick, Pat, Dick. Thank goodness you're alive.
Oh, it's cold.
Well, the boys have built a fire. I'll get you over to it.
Yeah, fire. Very close to the fire. Oh, I'm cold. So cold.
Well, not too close, Pat. You'll have to take it by easy stages. Come on now. There we are.
Oh.
Well, I was afraid it was all over with you, Pat.
Oh, I thought so too, Dick. How about the others?
They're digging for them, Pat.
Here's another one!
Good. Bring him over here to the fire, McKean.
Hard to carry. All right, lend a hand, boys. Okay. He's breathing, though. He'll pull out of it all right. God's been good to us tonight, Tracy.
Yes, we have much to be grateful for. Keep the boys at it, McKean.
Yeah, they're doing the best they can, Tracy. They've dug through to the sleds, and it won't be long before they have all of them out. Yeah, we arrived just in time, Tracy. A few minutes later, and it might have been all over with these men.
Let me get close to that fire, Dick.
All right, Pat, easy does it. Not too close.
Gosh, Dick, it was awful. I thought we were finished when the snow caved in on us. It happened so fast. We couldn't run. We were trapped.
Yeah, I know. There's one man who won't be so happy to see you survive this snowslide, and that's Vernon Kyle.
Do you think Kyle was behind all this?
I'm sure of it, Pat. That snowslide was timed too nicely. I think it happened just at the precise moment it did. Wasn't a coincidence, Pat. Tell me, did you hear sounds like explosives going off?
I'm not sure, but I think so. As I said, it all happened so fast.
Yes, exactly. Much faster than ordinary snowslide, because dynamite started it.
We've got to get Kyle for this, if for nothing else.
We'll get him. The Purple Rider doesn't get him first.
The Purple Rider? What are you talking about?
Well, the Purple Rider, Pat, is a man who seems to share our dislike for Kyle. A fellow, apparently, who's decided to take the law into his own hands. We had a note from him tonight saying that he was going to help us put Kyle out of the way.
What do you know about that? Have you any idea who the Purple Rider is, Dick?
No, Pat, I haven't. All I do know is that he's a man with a flair for showmanship, wears a purple hood and goes in for a mystery atmosphere. But this much is certain. Whoever he is, we'll have to do what we can to stop him.
Stop him? But if he wants to help us, Dick...
I know. His intentions may be all right, Pat, but his methods are wrong. If we sanction what he's trying to do, we're sanctioning mob rule. Doesn't make any difference whether it's just one individual taking the law into his own hands or 20. No, Pat, our job up here is twice as big now as it was before. We've got to bring Kyle to justice, and we've got to stop the Purple Rider as well.
Tracy. Always Tracy. Everywhere I turn, he's there. This is the last time that fella's going to cross me.
Oh, now take it easy.
Shut up. I know what I'm doing. What's the matter with you guys, anyway? You put guys out of the way before. Why can't you take care of Tracy? His life isn't charmed. First one of you fools misses out on a good chance to put Tracy out of the way and lets Tracy shoot him through the window. Then there's this Purple Rider. Well, I know one thing. Tracy's behind that Purple Rider. And by the time I'm through, I'll know more. And now there's this dead man's past business. You made a mess of that, didn't you?
Oh, we tried.
Shut up, I said. All right. I know the sleds didn't get through, but that isn't enough. I wanted to get those miners. I wanted to teach them a lesson. And Patton. I wanted Patton out of the way.
Well, can we help it if Tracy was told about the snowslide? Can we help it if the Mounties got there in time and dug those men out?
Snowslide? You call that a snowslide? They were able to dig Patton and the miners out in 15 minutes. You had enough dynamite to blow Dead Man's Pass and everything in it to the moon. Why didn't you do it?
Well, we did the best we could.
The best, huh? Well, if that's your best, I better get me another gang. A gang that isn't scared at the sound of Dick Tracy's name.
Oh, now, boss.
Hand me my cigarette case out of my coat there.
Okay, boss, I'll get it.
Everything goes wrong, everything. I wanted to teach them miners they couldn't get away with using them dog sleds when I wanted them to use my plane.
Here's your cigarette case, boss.
Them miners get away with this, the next thing you know, they'll decide they don't want me for a partner anymore. With Tracy behind them, encouraging them to stand up and fight, they may get the idea they can win out against me. Well, if they do, they're crazy. I'll put the screws on. I'll show them what it means to...
Carl, what is it? What happened? Hey, you look pale.
My cigarette case. Look.
Well, what's the matter with your cigarette case?
A note. A slip of paper pasted inside.
What do you know?
It says Baldy is gone. Another will follow him tonight. Expect me at 9 o'clock. And it's signed, The Purple Rider.
The Purple Rider?
Look, I'm getting out of here.
Yeah, me too. I don't like that.
Here we are, all of you. I don't know how this note got inside my cigarette case, who put it there, or how he did it. But you can bet your boots it was put there by somebody who's human, just like the rest of us. There ain't nothing to be frightened about. You boys stick to me and...
It's him. It's the Purple Rider. Let me out of here. Let me out of here.
Here we are, all of you. It's not 9 o'clock yet. It can't be the Purple Rider. Throw your guns.
I got none.
Okay. Bill, open that door.
Me?
Yeah, you heard me. Open that door.
Sure.
Good evening, gentlemen.
Tracy.
It's Tracy. Holy mackerel. And I thought it was...
Who did you think it was?
Don't mind that. What are you doing here, Tracy? What do you want?
We've come to have a quiet little talk with you, Kyle. Sort of informal.
All right, Pat, I'll handle this. Kyle, I suppose you know why I'm here.
I don't know, and I don't care.
I'm here to warn you and to have a showdown.
Oh, it's very nice of you.
All right, save your sarcasm. Kyle, you're beginning to...
Now, wait a minute, Tracy.
You listen to me. I'll do the talking. Kyle, you've terrorized the miners long enough. You've extorted 50% of their profits, even though you didn't rate a penny. What's more, you've assumed that you can play fast and loose with radium, one of the rarest, most expensive, and most precious elements, an element which civilization needs. You're going to find that you made a serious mistake, and the day when you're going to make this rather shocking discovery is very close at hand.
Now, I'll tell one. If that's all you've got to say, Tracy, you can...
Dick, let me take a poke at that
No,
loud
take
mouth.
it easy, Pat. Now, Kyle, I've warned you. If you're wise, you'll heed that warning.
If I'm wise, huh? Well, you've done a lot of talking. Now, I'll tell you something. And get this, Greenhorn, and get it straight. You and me tangled once before. You happened to win out then, but that don't mean it'll happen again. I run this town, see? I've run it for a long time. And I'm not going to be forced out by a tenderfoot from the city, even if his name happens to be Dick Tracy. So you come here to warn me, huh? Listen, you hang around here much longer, Tracy. You keep pushing your face into things that ain't your business, and you might not get back to the big city alive.
Hey, do you hear what I hear, Dick?
And that goes for you, too, Patton. I owe you something special. I haven't forgotten that sock on the jaw. It caught me off my guard then.
Well, you're not off your guard now, so...
Easy, Pat, easy.
You heard him, Dick. He wants another chance.
All right, forget it.
Quite a scrap of that shadow of yours, Tracy. Maybe one of these days, him and me will have the pleasure of meeting private.
Any time at all, Kyle.
Tracy, you don't think you can scare me out, do you? And another thing, all this hocus pocus. If you think this Purple Rider bluff scares me, you're crazy. I know he's one of your men.
So, you think the Purple Rider is one of my men, do you?
Yeah, you're not kidding me. I don't know what you've done with Baldy, but you better see that he turns up real quick, alive and safe. Yeah, and you better cut out sending me them notes.
Notes, huh? So you've been getting a few notes, too, have you?
Yeah, you know I have. Found this one in my cigarette case.
May I see it?
You don't have to see it. You wrote it. You came a little early tonight, Purple Rider. You said you wouldn't come until 9 o'clock.
I see. So now you think I'm the Purple Rider. A few seconds ago, you were supposed to be someone working for me. Well, for your information, Kyle, I'm not the Purple Rider, and I don't know who he is. But I do know this. He's out to get you, and he will if he isn't stopped. which puts me in a peculiar position. I'm out to bring one man to justice, that's you, and to stop another, the Purple Rider, who's trying to do the job for me.
Stop him? I don't believe it.
I didn't suppose you would. The difference between the Purple Rider and me is that I'm out to get you in the name of the law, and the Purple Rider, whoever he is taking the law into his own hands. And his motive is revenge.
It's 9 o'clock now, Kyle.
Well, what of it?
The guy that calls himself the Purple Rider, he said he'd be here at 9. And he'd take one of us guys away with him.
I wouldn't worry about that. You're looking at the Purple Rider right now, and his name is Tracy.
Yeah, well, how do you know he's the Purple Rider? Tracy just told you he was, and you ain't got no proof that he's...
Who kicked that door open?
Oh, jumping jelly wrens, look! Standing there in the door.
Dick, look.
Yes, Pat. It's the Rider. The Purple Rider. And he's got the drop on us.
Who is the Purple Rider? And what will happen next? Can you guess? It's a puzzler. Now, all you wide-awake Dick Tracy fans are invited to attend our Dick Tracy Secret Service Patrol meeting brought to you by Quaker Puffed Wheat and Quaker Puffed Rice, the delicious, nourishing cereals that give you trigger-fast food energy because they're shot from guns. All right, Mr. President, we're ready.
The meeting will now come to order, and today we have great news.
Whoa, Junior. Just a second here. Here comes the president of the National Girls Division of the Dick Tracy Secret Service Patrol.
Oh, hello, Miss Trueheart.
Hello, Junior, and Mr. Quakerman.
Hello.
I just had to run up today and tell you all the good news.
Oh, great. What is it?
Well, we've been checking the new memberships in the Girls Division, and what do you think?
I don't know what.
The National Girls Division was only started 9 days ago, and already the girls' membership has more than doubled. Isn't that wonderful?
Oh, I'll say.
Well, it certainly is, Miss Trueheart. Congratulations.
The girls are the ones to be congratulated, Mr. Quakerman. All the wide-awake girls who love fun and adventures, who stand for law and order, and who do things are joining and telling their friends to join.
All the regular fellas are joining the patrol, too. And it's swell to see them join and then be promoted to sergeant, then lieutenant, captain, and then to inspector general.
The girls are starting to win their promotions to the officers' ranks, too. We had a lot of applications this week. Dick and I are very proud of all our patrol members and the great work they're doing.
And you're just as proud when you're a patrol member, so don't miss another day of the fun. Join now and get your secret code book, your patrol pledge, and official badge all free. It's easy to join the Dick Tracy Secret Service Patrol or the National Girls Division. You just tear the tops off 2 packages of Quaker Puffed Wheat or Quaker Puffed Rice or one of both. Print your name and address clearly on a plain piece of paper, and if you're a boy, be sure to write Boy at the top of the piece of paper, and if you're a girl, write Girls Division, and then mail it with your 2 box tops to Dick Tracy, Box L, Chicago. And then you're a full-fledged member of a great nationwide organization of hundreds of thousands of the finest, keenest boys and girls in the country. So look to see if there's some delicious, refreshing Quaker Puffed Wheat or Quaker Puffed Rice in your pantry now. They're the different, nourishing cereals that give you trigger-fast food energy like Dick Tracy has, because they're shot from guns. And if you don't see those famous red and blue packages there, ask Mother today to get you some Quaker Puffed Wheat and Quaker Puffed Rice from the grocer right away.
Calling all adventure fans, calling all Dick Tracy fans. Stand by for another exciting electrically transcribed Dick Tracy adventure tomorrow at this same time. There goes Dick Tracy now. That is all.